Hi Sagittarius, the Awakened Dreamer here to give you your weekly tarot reading for the week of January 3rd to the 9th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining me. And I do want to remind you, as always, this is a general weekly read for the sign of Sag. So just take what resonates and don't stress over what doesn't, all right? But we will mention the song of the week in just a moment. You'll have to stick with me till the end in order to get an answer to your yes or no question, excuse me, from the crystal pendulum. All right? But the song that Spirit chose on shuffle for you for the week was I Belong to You by Kevin Rudolf. That will be down in the description box below. But there's something about this week, first of all, you needing to take a deep breath, feeling a bit stressed just running around, feeling like you have to fulfill a lot of obligations. But as well with the song, you might find that you just belong to somebody else, um, or somebody else just very much belongs to you. It feels like a connection, a union, maybe a marriage, but however it works for you could just be more so you feel like you belong to somebody you work for. But either way, let's aim on down and pull some cards. All right, so let's begin by pulling the overall focus slash energy for the week from the Divine Animals Oracle deck. For my lovely Sagittarius this upcoming week, the 3rd to the 9th of January, 2022. We have Fruit Bat slash Flying Box, Kindness. There's a focus on kindness this week, alright? A very, very interesting card. I heard your kindness is paying off in a lot of ways. Feeling the love coming back to you, feeling like people just want to help you, assist you. All right, or being reminded that when you're kind instead of forceful and aggressive, it's the kind moments that make people want to sort of work for you more or help you more. And it could be more so about you seeing that as productive more so when it comes to somebody else. All right, there's also an underlying focus on your will, you not giving up, on you just being someone who works till the end or just doesn't allow certain obstacles to get in their way or to keep them down. Okay. So we're going to continue and pull 6 tarot cards from the Gilded Tarot Royale deck. I'm hearing the fruits of your labor as I look at all the fruit here at the bottom of this card. All right. Feels like the fruits of your labor are starting to become more apparent. For my lovely Sagittarius is for this upcoming week to continue. And now I'm hearing let it rain on in. Let it rain on in. The abundance, if you will. Alrighty, for Sag, what else do we have? I'm now getting the vibe that you get irritated with certain delays or annoyances when it comes to what you're trying to accomplish this week and moving forward, or just in general, but you don't allow it to stop you. You take a moment, you might give it a side eye or just, get your frustration out, and then you move forward. I don't know why that's coming out. Okay, good. And we'll pull the last one right from the top of the deck. I feel like you could be a little bit anxious this week for whatever reason. Underlining focus on your strength and your alone time. You also might feel like your world is just changing rapidly. Like moment to moment, you look behind your shoulder, something else is changing. You step into another area of your life and that's changing, right? You get an update from your friend and their life is changing, or your family members, or their life is changing. It's just like, oof, wow, like this is all good, but I can't catch my breath. But it has more to do with you sort of running around relentlessly trying to accomplish errands or just support everybody in your life or just figure things out that's making it hard for you to catch your breath. It's not the updates or just your world or their world's changing. Just keep that in mind this week. But there's something to benefit from certain moments that you have alone. I'm seeing somebody do the dishes, or I'm seeing somebody um, mow the lawn, I'm hearing. Interesting. Or just do yard work, something of the sort, maybe gardening. There's just little tasks where you will find it, maybe laundry, where you'll find it comforting, where you'll come to an idea or realization, where you'll be able to catch your breath as long as you don't do it in an overly stressful way. All right? It'll help you regain that strength. The Emperor. Beginning the week in a very overly serious way, thinking very analytically, weighing things out in your mind, going through a balancing act once again. There's a bit of conflict in your mind all the meanwhile. You could feel like there's a never-ending battle in the midst of what you're trying to achieve. With the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles, interesting. A huge focus on what you're going after at this time. It could feel like you're trying to go after two different situations, and therefore one's moving really slowly and one you're just more emotionally invested in. Okay, it feels like there's also just a huge focus mentally, or you're being pushed to focus on this at this point in the week, on your love life as well, on your money and your career, to try to balance both out, right? And your love life could also more so be family and just the ones you love rather than just your romantic life, okay? But there's a push to just kind of maybe lighten up a little bit at this point in the week, not to be so overly uptight, to pay attention to the tension in your shoulders and your body in general, and find other ways that you are gifted to, interesting wording, to relax. Ace of Swords. So you make your way to the middle of the first half of the week, and there's a focus on a new beginning you desire in regards to a situation you don't fit in with anymore, okay? And getting a gift of abundance, potentially clarity when it comes to that. If you find that you're stressing over your money, you get a little bit of money, all right? A little bit of money in your account or in the mail. Maybe somebody owes you money. The Devil and the Two of Swords, feeling a bit like an overthinker at this point, or just overworked, right? And needing to keep that hope alive at this point in the week, but just feeling like your guard is up, a bit feisty, and feeling a bit unclear as to how things are meant to unravel. Feeling like others just seem to have this bit of clarity, and it's like, well, where is mine? Feeling a little bit misunderstood and just wrong about certain things, but just really not sure. That's the vibe I'm getting. But all the meanwhile, what I'm also getting is you need to take a moment and look up at the moon at one point. It'll make you think of somebody, and that person has a huge lesson to teach you in the upcoming weeks. Okay. Very, very interesting. Five of Pentacles. Your readings always are so different. Five of Pentacles again. So the number 55 coming out. Look up the angel number meaning. There's more meanings to it, but I typically associate it with change. All right. Something needs to change. Knight of Swords, and you going after a situation that will replace what no longer works for you. Okay. Feeling a bit stressed over your money all the meanwhile, or about other people's financial situations when it comes to what you're going after, what they're going after. It's like, Sag, breathe. Why are you stressing yourself out? Why do you feel so on guard? Why do you feel like you need to protect your dreams, your family's dreams, your friends' dreams? It's because life just kind of abruptly pushes people down at times, and that does happen. But allow yourself to just take a deep breath and put your guard down. Take that armor off for a hot second. And remember that people love you for your vulnerable, imperfect self, right? And just remember that things will work out the way they're meant to, even if certain situations have to fall flat in the midst of which. Every little thing happens for a reason on the way to what's meant to be. Wow, that was a powerful rant. We're going to leave that as is. That was keywording, Nine of Swords in reverse. The Fool, there's a fresh start you desire. It feels like more so at the beginning and the end of the first half. But the beginning of the second half, you desire a leap of faith. You're pushed to adjust your perspective. His underlining focus, because I just saw the Nine of Swords in the upright, on how you haven't been sleeping well enough this week up until this point, or just recently in general, or your dreams have just been stressful. Other people's have been. Interesting. Um, with the World, the Nine of Wands and the Ten of Wands, you are feeling as if things are just very heavy at this point. Your mental thought process is not helping all the meanwhile, okay? But you're also just feeling like the wounded warrior, feeling like your body hurts, you know? Your mind is racing, your heart is just full of love to give, or you're just feeling very um, emotional all the meanwhile for whatever reason. It's because you're overworked, you're overtired, you don't stop. And when you do stop, the mind doesn't stop, right? Um, but it's just, it feels like it's a very sort of caring motivation. That's how it's coming through. And all the meanwhile, it's a reminder that your world's changing to sort of uplift you, to remember that you don't need to feel the need to be everything for everybody, right? Or to accomplish everything. To remember to rely on others to be that support for you. And I do think you do that occasionally, but all the meanwhile, it just feels like a reminder to release that tension from your body once again, and to give yourself that chance to rest. There's just something about this part of the week where you're so depleted, you can't help but gain better sleep. I see somebody falling asleep so damn early. And it feels like you are pushed and you have no other choice but to release the stress from your situation, to release some of the burdens you feel have been necessary, but even if for some of you they weren't, you know, or aren't. Wow, that got very emotional. And naturally, we fall with the Queen of Cups, a very sort of motherly, elegant kind of energy where you're feeling still a bit emotional, or some of that leftover emotion on the surface. It's very noticeable to those around you. I just heard, don't let it translate into anger. Okay? It feels like you're not manifesting what you desire at this time, but you are. Okay? Trust in the magic of your mind, your manifestation skills, what you focus on. If you expect the worst, that's what will come to be. All right? I just heard the opposite of what you expected was meant to be. Trust. Trust. As a lot comes at you, it feels like people are messaging you. People are, I just smiled. People are enjoying your updates. People are loving what you have to say. People just are drawn to your energy for healing purposes, to help you, to ground you. It just feels like the individuals that you have in your life at this point that are coming towards you are meant to, you're so connected to them at this point energetically and in other ways that they end up sort of being drawn to you, attracted to you when you need them the most for several different reasons. And this is when you just become more uplifted and things feel 10 times more positive and even more less stressful. If that even made any sense at all. Wow, struggle. And it's just like they sort of see your struggle and they're like, Sag, I'm struggling too, please. You're not the only one. You know, I see a lot of laughter, a lot of love, a lot of smiling. You know, even if this is just on the phone or texting, or it might be in a physical gathering. But it's just you'll also be talking about certain changes and adjustments that are happening, even if they're not like perfect adjustments and changes, but they just end up being ones that translate into a positive conversation. That was a lot as well. You might be thinking about that after a conversation. Well, that was a lot, but okay, love it. Six of Pentacles. A very positive ending to the week. Thinking a lot about a wish fulfillment that is on the horizon, or you maybe do receive at the end of the week. Your kindness is paying off. You're remembering when you're kind that is effective. You know, it sort of trickles out, you know. It's also a reminder at the end of the week that your fruit is blossoming. Does that make sense? I know that wording kind of doesn't, but it's like the fruit of your labor is coming to be. Your ships are coming in. You're granted abundance when it comes to several different wish fulfillments. It's as if the universe is like, yeah, this was a bit of a rough week, or it wasn't perfect. It had its ups and downs. You know, what week doesn't? but they're prepping you for the upcoming week to jump out of bed on Monday and just get motivation and going to just do what you need to do in a balanced manner. To remember that you're loved and abundant and successful all the meanwhile. All right? Okay. So let's pull a Moonology card for Sag. Step out of your comfort zone. There's something about you feeling sort of boxed in at times by oneself when it comes to who and what makes you feel comfortable. All right? And it feels like maybe one of the people that comes towards you, feels drawn towards you in the middle of the second half of the week, will be partially to step out of your comfort zone, or it might have to do, with the person you think about when it comes to that moon moment. All right? But it is time to release negativity. All right? So let's finish this up. If you haven't thought of your yes or no question, just take a moment. All right, for Sagittarius. All right, as you can see, that is a no to your question. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this reading was helpful. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I hope you have an amazing week, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Sag.